There's something remarkable about a woman who refuses to stay down. She embodies a universal truth that is simultaneously humbling and inspiring. Life is difficult, and yet there is nothing more astonishing than the human capacity to transcend it. When she falls, and she will, as we all do, it's as if the world itself is watching. Will she give up? Will she shrink back into the shadows of her doubt and fear? Or will she summon something deeper, something unyielding from within her soul? Every fall she takes is an opportunity, a gift in disguise. The ground she lands on is not her defeat, but her foundation. She chooses to rise, not because it is easy, but because she understands that staying down would be a far greater failure. Each time she picks herself up, she grows stronger, not in spite of her challenges, but because of them. This woman doesn't shy away from responsibility. She doesn't blame the world for her misfortune, no matter how justified that blame might seem. Instead, she owns her journey, even when it feels like the odds are stacked against her. This is her power. She knows that life's unfairness is no excuse for surrender, but an invitation to become something greater. She doesn't ignore the chaos of her struggle. She stares it down. She creates order from it, turning her pain into purpose. Each rise is a small act of rebellion against a universe that often seems indifferent to her efforts. It's her way of saying, I am here, I matter, I will not be defeated. But let's be clear, this resilience is not about stubbornness or blind optimism. It's about mastery. Every fall teaches her something. Every bruise, every scar, every tear, it all becomes part of her story. She doesn't just survive, she evolves. And in doing so, she inspires others to believe that they, too, can rise. You see, this woman is more than an individual. She's a symbol of what it means to be human. Her struggle is our struggle. Her triumph, our triumph. She reminds us that the hero's journey isn't reserved for the mythical or the extraordinary. It belongs to anyone who dares to rise time and time again, no matter how many times they've fallen. And so, to the woman who rises every fall, you are not only strong, you are necessary. In your resilience, you carry the hopes of countless others. In your journey, you illuminate a path for those still finding the courage to stand. Adversity is an unavoidable reality of life, one that tests the very fabric of our character. A woman who rises every time she falls demonstrates an unshakable truth. True strength is not innate, it is earned through struggle. The moments that break her also forge her. Each fall, each stumble, is not merely an obstacle, but a test of resolve, a crucible where her courage and determination are shaped. Strength is not the absence of hardship, but the response to it. Life doesn't hand us resilience on a silver platter. It demands we dig deep and discover it within ourselves. When a woman faces adversity, she is presented with a choice. She can allow the weight of her circumstances to keep her down, or she can rise, however slowly, refusing to be defined by her fall. In that rise, there is power, a testament to the incredible capability of human spirit. It's important to acknowledge that this strength is not about being impervious to pain or invulnerable to fear. Quite the opposite. A woman who rises doesn't deny her wounds or pretend that she is unscathed. She feels the pain, absorbs it, and in doing so, integrates it into her being. Her strength is rooted in her willingness to face the raw truth of her experience and to persist regardless. She does not shy away from the discomfort or chaos of falling. She confronts it head on and uses it as fuel to climb back up. Every moment of adversity she endures holds the potential to shape her. Failure becomes an education, pain a profound teacher. She learns not only how to recover, but also how to rebuild. Each fall strips away illusions of ease or entitlement, leaving behind a sharper, more resilient version of herself. These experiences make her strong, not just for herself, but for others who witness her journey. When she rises, she shows the world what is possible. She becomes an example that strength isn't a static trait, but a muscle that grows only when tested. Strength through adversity also reveals a profound relationship between suffering and meaning. The woman who rises understands that hardship can serve a higher purpose. It doesn't mean she welcomes difficulty with open arms. Rather, she recognizes that within every trial lies an opportunity to find deeper meaning in her life. Her strength is a rebellion against despair, a refusal to let suffering have the last word. This is not a glamorous process. Strength forged in adversity is often messy, grueling, and deeply personal. But it is in those very moments of struggle that transformation occurs. The woman who rises doesn't emerge as the same person who fell. She rises stronger, not because she avoids the fall, but because she faces it fully, learns from it, and uses it to propel herself forward. The essence of strength is in this unyielding resilience. Each time she gets up after a fall, she declares that life's challenges, no matter how daunting, will not defeat her. Her journey becomes a narrative of empowerment, a vivid testament to the idea that adversity is not the end, but a beginning, a foundation for building something extraordinary. Responsibility is not often associated with power, but in reality, it is one of the most profound sources of strength a person can claim. For a woman who rises every time she falls, responsibility is the cornerstone of her resilience and the force that enables her to overcome. She understands that while life is often unfair, waiting for fairness is a trap. Instead, she takes responsibility for her choices, her actions, and her responses to the challenges that come her way. This doesn't mean she shoulders the blame for every hardship that befalls her. Life throws curveballs and many circumstances are beyond anyone's control. But a key distinction exists between being at fault and being responsible. A woman who rises every fall recognizes that no matter the origin of her struggle, the power to respond lies with her. By claiming that responsibility, she refuses to relinquish control of her life to external forces. She understands that while she may not be able to control what happens to her, she can control how she responds, and therein lies her power. Responsibility is empowering because it shifts the focus from what cannot be changed to what can. This shift is not easy. It requires brutal honesty and the courage to look at oneself without flinching. Taking responsibility means acknowledging one's own role in situations, even when doing so is uncomfortable. It means letting go of excuses and accepting the truth that no one is coming to save her. She must save herself. This acceptance is liberating because it places her future firmly in her own hands. When a woman chooses responsibility, she takes on the mantle of an active participant in her life rather than a passive observer. Each action she takes to rise after a fall, whether it's seeking help, learning a new skill, or simply refusing to give up, is a declaration that she will not be defeated. Responsibility becomes her armor, not because it shields her from pain, but because it equips her to face pain with purpose. She becomes the architect of her own recovery and growth. There is immense power in the realization that she is not a victim of circumstance, but an agent of change. Even in the face of overwhelming odds, this perspective sustains her. She doesn't wait for the world to align with her desires. She aligns herself with the reality of the world and moves forward anyway. Her journey demonstrates that responsibility is not a burden, but a gift. It is the key to unlocking her potential and reclaiming her life after every fall. In embracing responsibility, she becomes a force of nature. Her willingness to own her path, no matter how difficult, is a testament to her strength and a reminder that the power to rise is always within reach, even in the darkest moments. Responsibility, far from being a weight that drags her down, becomes the very force that lifts her up. Life is inherently chaotic, filled with unpredictable events, setbacks, and challenges that seem to emerge without warning or reason. For a woman who rises every time she falls, the ability to navigate this chaos is not just a skill but a necessity. She understands that the world will never offer a perfectly ordered path. Instead, it is her responsibility to carve order from the chaos that surrounds her. In this act, she finds strength and meaning, turning what seems to be insurmountable confusion into a structured foundation for growth. Chaos can be overwhelming, particularly in moments of failure or loss. It threatens to consume, to paralyze with its uncertainty. But the woman who rises recognizes that within chaos lies opportunity. Chaos is not just destruction, it is also potential, a fertile ground for rebuilding something stronger and more enduring. When she confronts chaos, she doesn't run from it or deny its existence. Instead, she steps into it deliberately with a resolve to make sense of it, to transform its wild unpredictability into something purposeful. This transformation requires clarity of thought and an unyielding commitment to act. The woman who rises begins by focusing on what she can control, however small it may seem. She identifies anchors within the storm, her values, her goals, her abilities, and builds upon them. These become the building blocks of order. In doing so, she creates a sense of stability, not because the chaos has disappeared, but because she has imposed her will and her determination upon it. The process of creating order is not without struggle. Chaos is relentless. It doesn't yield easily to structure or reason, but this struggle is precisely where her strength grows. Each small act of organization, each decision to prioritize, and each effort to move forward despite uncertainty strengthens her capacity to confront future challenges. She learns to see chaos not as a void of despair, but as a landscape of potential waiting to be shaped. The woman who rises every fall also understands that creating order in chaos is not a solitary act. She is not afraid to seek help, to collaborate, and to build systems of support. In reaching out to others, she not only multiplies her own strength, but also inspires those around her. Her ability to rise becomes a beacon for others, showing that chaos can be faced and conquered, not avoided or feared. Through this process, she doesn't merely survive, she thrives. Each time she transforms chaos into order, she becomes more skilled at facing the unpredictable nature of life. This ability to navigate uncertainty doesn't eliminate future falls, but it ensures that each fall is met with greater resilience and wisdom. Chaos becomes less of a threat and more of a challenge, a canvas on which she can paint a life of meaning and purpose. Ultimately, her journey through chaos is a testament to the human spirit's capacity to adapt and overcome. By imposing order where none exists, she creates a path not only for herself but for others to follow. Her rise from the depths of chaos is a powerful reminder that even in the most tumultuous times, there is always a way forward. It begins with a single, courageous step toward creating order, one act of determination at a time. Each fall she experiences is a test of her resolve, but it is also a lesson, an opportunity to grow. Resilience begins with her willingness to confront the pain and discomfort that come with failure or setbacks. Instead of avoiding these feelings or denying their existence, she allows herself to feel them fully, understanding that within these moments lies the potential for growth. She doesn't try to outrun her struggles, she meets them head on, treating them as a chance to deepen her understanding of herself and the world around her. This approach to resilience requires self-awareness and courage. The woman who rises doesn't merely hope to bounce back to where she was before the fall, she strives to move forward, to reach a higher level of capability and understanding. Each fall becomes a stepping stone, a pivotal moment that sharpens her skills, strengthens her resolve, and enhances her ability to navigate future challenges. Resilience becomes an evolving mastery of her circumstances and, more importantly, of herself. Resilience also means adaptability. Life is unpredictable, and no amount of preparation can shield her from every hardship. Yet, instead of being rigid in the face of unexpected events, she remains flexible, adjusting her strategies and expectations as needed. This adaptability is a hallmark of mastery, allowing her to turn even the most daunting setbacks into opportunities for growth. It is this capacity to pivot, to change course without losing sight of her goals, that ensures she continues to rise. Furthermore, resilience as mastery involves learning to draw strength from the experience of falling. Every scar, every wound, every hardship becomes a part of her story, a testament to her journey. These experiences are not marks of failure, but evidence of her tenacity and growth. They remind her of the battle she has fought and won, even when the odds seemed insurmountable. Her past struggles become a reservoir of strength, a wellspring she can draw from when faced with future challenges. This mastery is not achieved overnight. It is a gradual process built through countless moments of struggle and recovery. The woman who rises learns to trust in her own ability to overcome, even when the path forward is unclear. She becomes resilient not because she is unbreakable, but because she knows that no matter how many times she breaks, she has the strength and wisdom to rebuild. Ultimately, resilience as mastery is about taking control of her narrative. She does not allow her falls to define her as weak or incapable. Instead, she reclaims those moments as integral parts of her growth. Each rise is not merely a return to where she once was, but a leap forward into a stronger, more capable self. Resilience becomes her art, her craft, and her proof that no fall is final unless she chooses to stay down. Through this mastery, she demonstrates the boundless potential of the human spirit to adapt, overcome, and rise higher with every challenge faced. In the end, the woman who rises every fall is not simply defined by her ability to endure or survive. She is defined by the strength she gains through each trial, the responsibility she takes in shaping her life, the order she creates amidst chaos, the mastery she develops through resilience, and the heroic journey she undertakes. Her story is one of transformation, one that echoes through the generations, reminding us all that adversity is not a signal of defeat, but a crucible for greatness. Every time she rises, she redefines the meaning of strength, proving that it is not in the absence of failure, but in the courage to rise after it, that true power is found. Her journey is universal, one that we can all relate to in some way. Life will challenge us all, knock us down, and try to break our spirits. Yet, it is not the falls that determine our future, but how we choose to rise from them. The woman who rises teaches us that success is not about avoiding failure, but about learning, growing, and pushing forward through every setback. It is about having the courage to keep going when the world seems to conspire against you. To rise after every fall is to become something more than we were before, to embrace our struggles and emerge as stronger, wiser, and more capable beings. The woman who rises shows us that there is no limit to what we can achieve if we continue to rise time and time again, no matter how many times we are knocked down. In her persistence, she becomes not only a beacon of hope for herself, but also a source of inspiration for all those who witness her journey. Her story is proof that even in our darkest hours, there is always a path forward, one of strength, growth, and transformation.